Okay, well, good morning. Thank you for coming to the intermediate class this morning. Once again, we really appreciate your support of the studio during this time. I also think it's really important to be on our mats right now, just so we have some semblance of normalcy in our lives right now when there's not a lot of normal around us at all. So I was requested to do hips, obviously from being seated a lot and in our house, and also inversions. So those are the two requests I got after I sent my email out yesterday, so I'm going to go ahead and incorporate those into class today. So with that, as always, find a comfortable position to do your pranayama in. If you want to lay down on your back, feel free to lay down on your back. But whatever position you'd like to take it and then float the eyes shut. And just take a few moments to bring your awareness into your body. Pardon me. Feel a softness in your forehead, down in between the eyebrows, down the temples, down through your cheeks, into your lips. Release your chin down a little bit to release tension out of the jaw. Feel your collarbones just melting open in the front of the body. Feel the shoulder blades just heavy on your back. Try not to force the shoulders to really go anywhere. Just allow gravity to gently let them release down your back without any effort. And as you brought your awareness into the physical body, bring your attention back to the breath. And notice it has naturally slowed, maybe lengthened and deepened in the body. Allow your breath to be an anchor for you right now. We talk about how our breath grounds us a lot in our yoga practice, and that is needed now during this time, that grounding during this unusual time in all of our lives. So as your mind wanders, which it's going to, as always, just gently bring it back to the breath. Allow the mind to maybe focus on the sensations of the body, the air moving across your skin, feeling whatever you're seated on, feeling the sits bones dropping down onto your mat, the carpet, a cushion. Just allow yourself to have this few moments of quiet without the constant information being thrown at us. Letting go of the what ifs that are probably playing in all of our minds. And let the breath connect you with your heart center. Allowing yourself to connect with those things that are important in our lives right now that are really presenting themselves to us. Our family, our friends and loved ones, simple pleasures of just being able to connect, even if we have to do it over technology, just to know that we're not alone right now. We still have our community. And just like we modify poses in our yoga practice, just modifying how we connect right now. Bring your hands together at Heart Center. And take a moment, set an intent for your practice, and just the very simple intent of allowing yourself this time to be on your mat, to move with breath, to move your body. Of course, if you want to send some energy out to those who are in need of it right now, please feel free to use that as your intent today in your practice. Just take a moment to breathe that intent in. Let it come down into your heart center and settle. And then slowly open the eyes up. And we're going to go ahead and come over onto our hands and knees. So I'm going to take a moment to place a blanket underneath my knees. Pretty hard little floor down here in my basement. So come on to the hands and knees. And let's just start with knee circles, or just swaying the knees the hips, side to side. So just line those hips this way, back and forth. Then maybe going into knee circles. Just watch the kneecaps when you're in knee circles. Sometimes we get a little grumpy at me, so just be careful with the knees. And then make sure if you're doing circles that you reverse the circle. And then come back up to center. Move the right hand into the center of your mat and take your left arm underneath, bring your left shoulder down to the mat. Just get a little rotation. You can come up onto the fingertips of the right hand or take the right arm behind the back. And then bring the hand back down. If you had it back behind your back, press yourself up. Bring the left hand into the center of your mat. Thread your right arm underneath. Bring the right shoulder down. Once again, feel free to come up onto the right fingertips. Take the arm back behind you. Behind is kind of a nice version right now. Just get a little opening through the front of the shoulder. Okay, take one more breath here. And slowly bring the left hand down. Press yourself back up onto all fours. Go ahead and come into child's pose. Open your knees out a little bit and sit the hips back. Stretch that spine forward. Walk both hands over to the right side of your mat. Bring your left hand on top of the right. Pull the left hip back just a little bit and get a side stretch through the left side of the body. Then slowly walk your hands back to center. And then take them over to the left side. Bring the right hand on top of the left. And gently pull the right hip back this time. And then walk your hands back to center. Take 2 breaths in child's pose. Slowly come up onto your hands and knees. And exhale, make your way into downward facing dog. Come into dog pose, walk it out. Once again, sway those hips side to side if you want to. Start to find stillness in your down dog. Bend your knees, lift those hips up and back, especially since we probably have not been as active and we've been way more still. Be really kind to those hamstrings and the back of the legs are probably tighter than you're used to, so don't strain them. Once again, find the length in your spine instead. Lifting the tailbone up and back. Feeling the natural curves of the spine, but don't over-exaggerate lifting the hips up and back so you're not overarching in the low back, just in its natural curve. And just gently pull the ribs in the front of the body, once again, not pulling them in too tight, just a little engagement in the front of the body. And in the back of your body, I want you to imagine that the back muscles are squeezing into the spine. So the back muscles are engaged, holding that spine nice and stable. It's hard to feel our back muscles working, but once again, if you concentrate on it, you're going to feel the contraction down through the lats and down through the sides of the spine, the erector spinae group. Take 2 more breaths here. Inhale and exhaling out. Another deep breath in and exhaling out. Good. Inhale, lift your right leg up behind you. Step it in between your hands or bring your knees down to your mat to get to a low lunge. From here, sit all the way up. So coming into that version where the hip is right over the knee. Drop the tailbone down. You maybe put your fingertips on those hip points, draw the hip points up, and get into the thigh muscle, not hip flexor. We'll do that in a moment, but try to get more into the thigh muscle. And just allow the hands to rest on your right thigh. Toes can be tucked or untucked behind you. No matter where they are though, press down into that lower leg. So either press down into the toes or press down into the top of the arch of the left foot. Once again, allow the shoulders to be relaxed down the back. And take 2 more breaths here. Keep lifting the hip points up in the front of the body, just like you were almost trying to tuck the tailbone underneath you. Good. And then from here, place your hands on either side of your foot. Step the right foot forward a little bit, and now come into the low lunge version where we're on an angle to move the stretch up into the hip flexor instead now. And so if you need to move the right foot out a little bit, if you're feeling a little congested in that front right hip, please do so. If you do that, just bring the hand on the inside of the foot instead. You need to bring your hands up onto something at home, blocks, My other ideas have been Tupperware bowls or Rubbermaid bowls maybe. You can flip over so because they have, they won't squish. Taking one more breath here. Place the hands down and look up and back into downward facing dog. Maybe we can check the laptop. Oh, maybe. Good. And take 3 breaths in down dog. Inhale. And exhaling out. And deep breath in. Exhale out. One more. Deep breath in. And exhaling out. Inhale, come forward into plank pose. Lower your knees down to your mat. Lower the chest in between the hands and the chin. Coming into more of a pranam, then lower down through chaturanga. Then come into low cobra. Stretch out through the legs. Open up the front of the collarbones. Once again, opening in through the shoulders to and lower down. And lift up and back into downward facing dog. As you're in down dog this time, I want you to take a little bit of time to see if you can think about kind of pushing the forearms forward to the short end of your mat. As you kind of feel those forearms pushing forward, see if that doesn't take a little bit more weight into the upper palms of your hands. And maybe it takes a little bit of pressure off of those wrists. So it does take a little bit of kind of really thinking about pushing those forearms forward to kind of help change that weight. But I find if I can push a little forward, it does take a little bit of that compression off of my wrists. Once again, compression is not always a bad thing, but it does allow you to have maybe just a little less if it's really uncomfortable in down dog for you. Good. Coming into the other side, lift your left leg up behind you. Step in between your hands. Right knee down. Shift your weight back over the right knee. Drop the pelvis down. Lift the hip bones up in the front and feel that stretch in the front of the right thigh, hopefully. Once again, feeling energy pressing down through your back leg. So press down to the top of the foot or pressing down through your toes. Just a little bit of engagement in your core muscles just to give stability to the upper body. Again, try to feel your back muscles working too in the upper body. And then from here, place the hands down. Step your left foot forward, or you can scooch the right knee back, coming into a low lunge now. Allowing that opening to hopefully move up a little bit higher into the hip. And shoulders relaxed. Take 2 more breaths here. Inhale. And exhale out. Another deep breath in. Exhale out. Step up and back into down dog. Inhale, come forward into plank. Exhale, lower the knees down. Keep your butt lifted coming into pranam. Chin and chest to the floor. Inhale, low cobra. Pull the shoulders back. Pull the elbows into the sides. Lowering down. Lift up and back into downward facing dog. Just take 2 breaths in down dog. Inhale. And exhaling out. Deep breath in. And exhaling out. And your next exhale, make your way into your forward fold at the front of your mat. Same thing. Be kind to the back of those legs. Soft knees. Allow yourself just to dangle, heavy like a rag dog over the legs. On your next inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach up through the spine, press down through the feet. Exhale, bring your hands together at heart center. Let's go into half salutations. Inhale, take the arms up overhead. Reach, stretch tall. If you want to do a little back bend, feel free to do a little back bend. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, lengthen into a flat back. Exhale, fold over. Inhale, reaching up, stretching up. Exhale, hands together at the heart. Inhale, take the arms up overhead, reach and stretch up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen into a flat back. Exhale, fold over. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hands together, heart center. One more half salutation. Inhale, take the arms up, reach and stretch. Exhale, and fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands together, heart center. Inhale, take the arms up overhead, reach and stretch up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, lengthen into a flat back. Exhale, fold back over. Inhale, reach the right leg back into your low lunge. Lengthen the spine. Lift the right knee up and away from the floor. Feel the length all the way down the right leg, front and back of the leg. Keep lifting the sternum up and forward. And then lift up and back into downward facing dog. This time in dog pose, turn the right foot out, bend the right knee, press back through the left heel. So right knee bent, left leg straight. And allow yourself to push up and back into the left hip. So don't worry about trying to keep the hips square right now. Allow yourself to kind of lean over to the left side. And take one more breath here. And then come back into center. If you want to take the flow, inhale, come into plank. This time, if you want to go through chaturanga, go down through chaturanga, body nice and strong. Inhale, the low cobra or up dog. Exhale, up and back into downward facing dog. Nice. Inhale, lift the right leg up behind you. Exhale, up in between your hands. And come up onto the fingertips. Or onto blocks, or Tupperware bowls, whatever you have handy dandy at home. And once again, think about that long line through the back leg, through the front and back. Keep pushing your left heel over your left toes. And take another deep breath in. Step into your forward fold at the front of your mat. Take 3 breaths here. Inhale. And out 1. And breath in. And out 2. And breath in. And out 3. Inhale, come all the way to standing. Reach up. Stretch tall. Exhale, hands together, heart center. We'll do the other side now. Inhale, take the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, lengthen into a flat back. Exhale, fold over the legs. Reach the left leg back this time. Same thing, really pay attention to your body right now. This is not the time to push it over its limits. Be gentle with it. The fact that you're just moving on your mat is the best thing that the body needs right now. So try not to go overboard because you feel like you haven't been able to do your normal stuff. It's a really kind of hard thing to convince ourselves of right now. Nice and gentle. Lift up and back into down dog. This time turn the left toes out just a little bit, bend the left knee. Press the right hip up and back and a little bit out to the long side of your mat. Good, nice stretch through the side. And then slowly come back into down dog and center yourself. Once again, if you would like to take a flow, and before we do the right side, come into plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to low cobra or up dog. Exhale, up and back into downward facing dog. I'm going to take that moment, think about pushing the forearms forward a little bit. Think about the energy lifting up and back through the tailbone. And then inhale, lift your left leg up behind you. Step in between your hands for low lunge on the other side. Come up onto your fingertips to help lift the upper body up and off of the left thigh. Feeling that long line through the entire body, crown of the head, all the way out the right heel. Feel the broadness of the collarbones. On your next exhale, step into a forward fold, the front of your mats. Dangle over the legs again. Inhale, come all the way to standing, reaching the arms up. Exhale, bring your hands together at heart center. Good. You can stay at the end of your mat. I'm just going to turn to face you so you can see me a little bit better. Okay. All right. So bring your hands together at heart center. Cross your right ankle over the left knee. I am not mirroring you. Bend into the left knee. Wow. Coming into forward leg. Not figure four pose. Line the hips to sit back. Allow the right knee just to drop down. As always, if you want to take it deeper, you can straighten the left leg and fold over. Bring your hands to a block or the floor. I'm going to choose to stay just in figure four this morning. Take 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhaling out. Deep breath in. Exhaling out. Lift the chest up. Place the right foot down. Good. Inhale. Take your arms up overhead. Exhale. Fold over the legs. Same thing that we did in down dog. Bend your right knee. Place your hand either on the floor or on your shin, or if you do have something underneath that you put your hand on, and then rotate away from the legs. So rotate to your left. Once again, I'm not mirroring you. Push back to that left hip. Hopefully you feel that opening a little bit through the side of the left hip too, so down the seam of the pants high up in the hip. Take 1 more breath here. Slowly bring the left hand back down. Soften back into the knees. Inhale, come all the way to standing, reaching up. Exhale, hands back together at heart center. Switch into the right leg. Cross the left ankle over the left knee and sit back into your figure four pose. Feel the left knee just heavy down towards the earth. Same thing, if you would like to take it deeper and straighten the right leg and fold over, bringing your hands to a prop or to the floor, feel free to do that. Keep the spine reaching long if you're in figure four pose. Try not to drop the chest over, keep the collarbones wide and soft. Slowly lift all the way back up. Place the foot down. Inhale, take the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. This time, bend your left knee. Hands on a prop if you'd like. Rotate to your right, take the right arm up. So we're doing a nice open twist. Press back to the right hip. You can just get a lot of opening in the front of the body too, through the shoulders. Probably been on devices even more than we normally are right now. Let's get a nice opening in front of the chest, along with the right hip. Slowly bring your right hand back down, softening the knees. Inhale, come all the way to standing, reach up to the fingertips. Exhale, bring your hands together at heart center. Okay. Once again, you guys can stay at the end of your mat. I'm going to come back to the end of my mat. Okay, coming into Tadasana. Inhale, take your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, lengthen into a flat back. Exhale, fold back over the legs. Good. Step your right leg back into your little lunge. So if you're you might want to take a moment, bring something underneath your hands because we're going to come into pyramid pose. Straighten the left leg. Take a deep breath in and straighten that left leg, pushing back to the right heel strongly. Keep that back leg really strong. If you don't have anything at home to put hands on, take your hands onto the shins. It will probably be a little bit more challenging for balance though. If you don't have something at home and you want that support, just bring your right knee down behind you and you can come into half Hamanasana and you're sort of that opening in the back of the left hamstring. Good. Press firmly down through both feet. Bend back into the left knee. Good. Lengthen through the spine, maybe come up onto the fingertips to get that weight adjusted off of the front leg. And then keep your right fingertips on and rotate to your left, reaching up through the arm. Once again, keeping, I was going to do prayer, but once again, I kind of want you guys to open, to get the chest open, instead of coming into prayer arms, which can sometimes take us into a little bit of the collarbones coming together. It's really important to just open everything up right now. Nice and wide. I really don't want you to totally worry about alignment today. I just want you to feel your body moving. Once again, just feel it stretching and lengthening. We can do alignment when we're all back together again. And then slowly bring the hand down. Lift up and back into dog pose. Good. Inhale, come forward into plank if you would like. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, up dog or low cobra. Exhale, up and back into dog pose. Take 3 breaths in dog, inhale, exhale out 1, deep breath in, exhale out on 2, deep breath in, exhale out on 3, inhale, bend your knees, exhale, make your way to the front of your mat, coming back into your forward fold, inhale, get into a flat back, exhale, fold back over the legs. This time, reach your left leg back into your little lunge. You need to take a moment to put something underneath your hands. Take a moment to put something underneath the hands. And then straighten the right leg. And keep pressing the left heel forward over the toes if you can. Breathe into the back of the right leg. Once again, don't push yourself. Take one more breath here. Gently bend back into the right leg. Left fingertips on the floor. Rotate to your right, taking the right arm up. Once again, opening up through the front of the collarbones. Feeling that stretch and that reach out through the right fingertips. And slowly bring the right hand down. Lift up and back into downward facing dog. Inhale, lengthen into plank pose. Exhale, lowering down to chaturanga if you'd like. Inhale, the low cobra or up dog. Exhale, up and back into downward facing dog. And then bring your knees down to your mat. Exhale, sit back into a nice child's pose, reaching out for the arms, lengthening the spine. If you would like to take the version, bring the palms of the hands together, reach the thumbs in between the shoulders, get a little stretch through your triceps. Slowly walk your hands back to you. Okay. So coming into a forearm balance, I want to give you some different options for an inversion this morning. Some of you may or may not have a wall handy dandy to do any type of forearm balance on. So you could instead just come into dolphin pose. Great inversion, you're still upside down, you've got the forearms in the same position as forearm balance with either clasped or unclasped hands, paying attention to what's good for the shoulders. If you do have a wall, hopefully I will not take out my calendar, you can come into a true forearm balance. Facing the wall. Once again, in forearm balance, just a reminder, you can kick up into it since your head is not on the floor. Walking the feet in, taking the leg up, and kicking up into forearm balance. Just make sure in forearm balance that you're lifting up and out of the shoulders. Okay, so I'm going to give you about a minute and a half or so to do whichever version you would like. Of course, child's pose, or legs at the wall, are great options too this morning. So we give you just a few moments to do that on your own. And then when we come back, I'll give you the incentive of pigeon poses next. So once again, just a reminder, even if you're in dolphin pose for your inversion, make sure you're lifting up and out of the shoulders. Lift your hips up and back, long spine. If you are trying to do forearm balance at home, same thing, lift out of the shoulders, engage your core muscles, squeeze those legs together in forearm balance especially. You have probably about another 30 seconds. Make sure you're not arching through the spine if you're in forearm balance. Good. And then slowly, whatever you've been doing, make your way back into child's pose. Come back up onto your hands and knees. Lift up and back into down dog. Good. Inhale, lift the right leg up behind you. Bring the right knee behind the right wrist. Once again, if you have knee issues, lay down on your back and cross the right ankle over the left knee. So for our home practice, still make sure that your hips are relatively level. I would say a throw pillow would work really nicely since it's a little bit denser than the pillows we sleep on a lot of times. So maybe a throw pillow might work easily underneath the right hip if you need some support there. Or if you have a blanket that you can roll up and put underneath you all the way, that works great too. So just take a moment, make sure you have your support that you need for you, and then go ahead and down onto the forearms, or you can walk yourself all the way down. Just nice, steady breath. If you're all the way down, come up just a little bit so you can walk yourself over to the left corner of your mat, reaching out through the arms, or staying up on the forearms. And then go ahead and walk your hands back over to the center. Come back up onto the palms. If you're on your back, just go ahead and stay there. Lift up and back into down dog. If you want to take a three-legged dog, feel free to take three-legged dog. Once again, just like last week in our practice, if you want to go into wild thing, just please be careful setting your foot down at home, especially if you're on carpet. Just make sure that foot doesn't slide out from underneath you. If you did take wild thing, slowly flip yourself back and come back into down dog. And then inhale, lift the left foot up behind you. Bring the left knee behind the left wrist, sitting for pigeon on the other side. Taking a moment to give yourself the propping that you may or may not need. If you're on your back and at home, a nice version is to put the foot up on the wall, so the right foot would be on the wall. It's a really nice version of pigeon on your back too. And then walk the hands forward, all the way down, forearms. And then come back up a little bit to walk your hands over to the right corner of your mats. Once again, you can reach the arms all the way forward versus say arm to the forearms, but just taking a little bit of a lateral stretch here to the right. It just changes the stretch of the hip just a little bit. And then slowly bring yourself back to center. Tuck the back toes, look up and back into down dog. Once again, if you want to go into a three-legged dog, feel free to go into three-legged dog. If you're on your back, just go ahead and stay there once again. Just that reminder, if you flip into wild thing, be very careful of the placement of the foot. If you're in wild thing, gently make your way back into downward facing dog. And then inhale, come into plank pose. Exhale, lower all the way down to your mat to stay there. Good. Stretch out your legs, adjust yourself back on your mat if you need to. Bring the forearms back underneath you, so elbows are right underneath your shoulders for Sphinx pose. Again, just taking a moment to lift the spine up, feel the opening in the front of the spine. Feel the collarbones melting back. Feel like you're trying to pull your elbows back to you. As you pull those elbows back, feel how the heart comes forward just a little bit more, not a lot, but it does just move just a little. Keep pulling those elbows back actively. And then slowly lower down. You can cross your hands over one another, turn your cheek to the side. Rest for a moment. And come back to center, come back into Sphinx pose again. Make sure those elbows are underneath your shoulders, unless if that's too much on the low back, and you can walk those elbows forward a little bit. We're just gonna take a moment, feel those elbows drawing back very actively. Good. And for the second one, if you want to take it deeper, if you want to start pressing into the hands and lifting up a little bit higher, feel free to do that. But as you do that, just make sure you don't lose the shoulders. Keep those collarbones open. Shoulders pulling down the back. And even as those hands are out in front of you, if you have straighter arms, still feel like you're pulling down the palms of the hands back to you. And then slowly lower all the way back down, turn the head to the other side. Bring your head back to center. Take your arms out to the side. This is kind of my new favorite shoulder stretch. So arms straight out. You're going to roll onto your right hip to lift the left hip up. So you're on your side. And you can take that left foot and you can place it behind you. That's okay. If not, you can keep the legs together and just maybe use the left hand to press back a little bit. Just get a nice opening through the right shoulder, down through the deltoid just a little bit. Feel free to play with the placement of the arm behind you, lowering it down or maybe taking it up a little bit higher. Once again, try not to push yourself too hard, but just to get a nice stretch in the front of the shoulder. Then slowly come back onto your stomach. Extend the left arm out. And same thing, roll onto the left hip. Once again, legs can stay bent and together. If you want to take that right leg back, give you a little bit more rotation, which also give a little bit more depth to the stretch in the left shoulder. Feel free to do that. Once again, feel free to move the arm up or down as needed. And slowly come all the way back onto the stomach. Press yourself back into one last wide-legged child's pose. Reaching out through the spine. Once again, if you want to wrap your arms to your sides, feel free to wrap your arms around the sides. And slowly come back up and come into a seated position. So take a moment if you would like to put a blanket underneath you. Take a moment to place a blanket underneath your hips. You can take the legs out in front of you. Sit up nice and tall on the sits bones. Take your hands down by your sides. Flex your toes back to you. Press down into the earth as you lift the spine up. Pull the elbows in towards one another. Feel the collarbones opening. Just sit up nice and tall. I know we've been seated a lot, but probably not seated as tall as we should be for the whole day. That's pretty hard to maintain. And then take a deep breath in, and exhale, fold over both legs. Nice, steady, smooth breath. Try to imagine the back of the legs softening, yielding. Once again, trying not to push yourself too far. Finding that acceptance of where our bodies are at this current time. And slowly sit all the way back up. Take your legs out to the sides. Flex your toes back to you, sitting up nice and tall. Good, taking a nice side stretch over to your right. I am mirroring you now. Good, feeling that stretch in the inner thighs. Feeling the side stretch through the right side of the body, left side for you. Slowly lift all the way back up and take your side stretch to the opposite side. Breathing into the rib cage. Feeling this ribs spread apart just a little bit. Maybe feeling the waistline lengthen. Slowly come all the way back up. Take a moment, place your hands behind you. Sit nice and tall. And then exhale over the center of the legs now to get into those inner thighs. Slowly walk your hands back to you. Bring your legs back together. Lay down on your back. And we'll combine one last side leg opener and a reclined twist together. We've done this before. Cross your right ankle over the left knee. Bring your left thigh into your chest and your arms out to the sides. Take this entire picture of the legs over to your left, bringing the sole of the right foot down to the floor. Once you're down there, grab a hold of the right foot with the left hand. Try to pull the foot up into the hand as you push down with the hand. Think about the right knee pushing a little down towards the short edge of your mat. Hopefully feel a nice opening and stretch through the right side of the leg. I also feel a little bit of a stretch coming up through my right waistline too. So a little twist, a little bit opening in the hip. And slowly release and come back to center. Just take a moment, squeeze the knees in towards the shoulders. And place your both feet back down on your mat. Take your arms out to the sides. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Pull the right thigh in. And then allow this entire picture to fall over to the right, bringing the sole of the left foot down to the floor. Once it's there, grab a hold of the top of the foot or your ankle. Give yourself a little bit of resistance between the foot and hand as you gently take the left thigh towards the end of your mat. Release any tension you may be holding in your facial features right now. And then slowly bring yourself back to center. Once again, bring your knees into your chest. This I'm going to rock back and forth. And take knee circles. If you want to take a happy baby pose, feel free to take a happy baby pose. And then, if there's anything else you need before Shavasana, please take a moment. If you would like to take a fish pose or something, take a moment to take a fish pose. If you need to put on socks or anything warmer for Shavasana, take a moment to put on a jacket or anything. So easy to bail out of Shavasana in a home practice. Try to go ahead and have the discipline to take your Shavasana and allow your body to absorb your practice. And then once you are lying down on your back, I'm going to remain seated so I can keep an eye on time for us. Lay all the way down, float your eyes shut. As always, feel the skin soft across your forehead. Softness in between the brows of the eyes. The eyelids are soft. Feel the eye sockets heavy and feel your eyes heavy into the back of your eye sockets. Continue to feel that softness moving down the temples, into the lips, down through the fronts of the throat, the back and sides of your neck. Softness continues down the arms, the elbows, the forearms, the wrists, into the palms of the hands, and into each of the fingertips. Feeling it continue down the fronts of your torso, down the sternum, the ribs, into the navel, down into the belly. Feeling the softness going down the back of your spine, to the back of the ribs, the shoulders, through the low back. Allow the pelvis to be anchored and heavy into the earth. As that softness continues down the top of the legs, to the knees, the lower legs, the ankles, into the arches and soles of the feet, into your 5 toes on each foot. Just continue to let everything release into the earth as you rest in Shavasana. Slowly begin to return your awareness back into your body. Allow your breath to deepen in the body. Bring gentle movement into your fingers and down into your toes. Slowly turn your head from side to side. And give your body a nice long stretch. Slowly bring one knee at a time into your chest. Roll over onto your right side. And very slowly press yourself up into a seated position. Bring your hands together at heart center. Take just a moment to feel the energy of your practice, feeling it settle physically, mentally on your true self. And taking a moment, as always, to come back to your breath. Once again, feeling that breath being an anchor for you at this time. Allowing the breath to connect you to your heart and out to those in your life that you care about. And may you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be at peace. Namaste. Once again, thank you so much for joining me today on our class on Zoom, and I hope all of you are healthy, staying at home, and that the rest of your family are healthy and safe too.